We are live here at Moore Park for a fantastic final tie for the Glebe Gorillas at least. Their opponents today are Dunbar Rovers, who last year did win the Champions of Champions in the over 45s. Coogee this year have stepped up this year in the over 45s, bringing their 35 team on a Sunday straight through to the 45s, and they've won that. And we've had a trip straight away by one of the 45s for the Gorillas. They're starting with 8 players, to be honest, and good on the referee for allowing that. And we do have a goal kick is our first play. I'll go through a list of the team names. David Mills, who is the manager of Dunbar Rovers 45s, has gladly gone through the list of team names and subs for me as the Gorillas are trying to play out the left hand side with their 7. And I believe Song, their superstar, who's previously played for China, will be arriving with them. And I did hear Mr. Mills saying to the coach Wayne Chen of the Gorillas, if it gets too ridiculous, as in scoreline gets too ridiculous, we'll see, and we'll try and make a game of it after that by allowing a few of the Dunbar players to don the red or some bibs of that colour to assist in a good game of football here. As the ball is being played around here, we will go through a list of the names. In goals, number 1 for Dunbar, Simon Taggart. I was asking the question, who's the eldest on the team, and I thought it was going to be the keeper. He does look like he's in his late 50s, possibly early 60s, but Millsy has come in and said, I'm 66, and he's on the bench, and he is the gaffer here for Dunbar Rovers, and they'll be passing the ball around as the Gorillas keep almost 2 banks of 4. They don't have enough players. It's a bank of 4 and a bank of 2 and a bank of 1, if you can call that a bank, right in front as Dunbar look to mount on the attack here against the Gorillas. And they'll need to take their time, Dunbar. They do have absolutely acres of space out there, and they've put the first couple of efforts off target. It is Milton playing up front for the Gorillas. He was on the bench for the over 35s on Friday night when we played against Glebe Wanderers, and Wayne just gives it away there, and they're battling well, the Gorillas, so far, but it's going to be a tough struggle. It really will be. Possible offside situation, no linos here, and trying to play it in the edge of the box. Dunbar, they have so much time here, they really do. That's Alan Spitzer, who's a centre back, who's really playing as a midfielder, or just outside the box kind of midfielder. Wayne comes in and wins that, and if the Gorillas can keep this level for any period of time, it's a victory in itself. Cross coming in left footed, header won by the Gorillas. John Carlos tries to kick it out, and Wayne needs to get a touch on it. Comes off a Dunbar foot, and it will be a goal kick. And not sure how much the Gorillas are going to try and slow this down, as Simon Taggart, a long way from his team, is trying to give instructions, and I'm not sure if they can hear him. And any chance for the Gorillas, I'm sure, would be a counter-attack or play everyone up front. It'll be a good offside trap. Scott Sadler is the right back, number 15. James Keane, 58, centre back. Lawrence Nerian, is centre back as well. David Pope is left back for Dunbar. Jean is number 8 in the right midfield side. Comes back to Alan, who plays it out left to the left back, David Pope. Pope on the ball, feeds it into the middle. If you miss a pass when you're against 7 players, you're probably going to still retain possession, and that's absolutely fine from the Gorillas. They'll get up a little bit now, and that's the game plan, to be honest. As Mills has taken off one of his tracksuit bottoms and maybe getting ready to play here. Maybe for the Gorillas, you never know. Dunbar on the attack. I'm sure I'm going to say that at least 100 times in this game. They don't really need to have a back 4. They can have a back 2. 2-4-4 would be my advisable tactics or formation for Dunbar Rovers as they look to put in another cross. Falling back post to Pope. Tries to have a shot. Still Pope on the ball. Lays it off. Not fed again to Pope, and again Dunbar need to be far more clinical. I know we've only played under 5 minutes here in the first half, but you are against 7 men as Pope comes in to win it. Lays it off to his number 11. I don't have him on my team sheet, number 11, unfortunately. I do actually. That's Lawrence Stewart. And Stewart's coming in, back post. Good header though. Saved by Wayne on the line. Excellent stuff. And it's a game of backs and forwards here at Moore Park. And Alon comes on the ball. He's got Pope outside him, doesn't use him. Tries to feed it through the middle. Stewart again has an effort, and the injured keeper, he's usually a centre back or right back. That's Eugene. The Gorillas don't want to play it around there. They should be just getting it out long, and I wonder is that Song, or it's Terry that's come on the left hand side for the Gorillas, and it's going to be a Maradona stroke Pele performance from any of the midfielders or strikers in the red shirts this afternoon here at Moore Park. They're going to have to take on the whole Dunbar holding midfielders if there are any, and also going to need to put it past their defenders and keeper. Pope puts it in, and a big chance was offside. It did look offside, and the referee was right on top of it. As I said, he doesn't have linos. Was a difficult one to call. Ball was rolling. Any bit of a slow play will benefit the Gorillas, as Milton, who was on the bench for the over 35, rolling again. He needs to get the ball and stop it, to be honest there. Firstly, tough to do, I know, when you're under such pressure trying to get the ball going forward. That's Norman. Left to him again. Keeper can't take that free kick. He is injured. To Terry under a lot of pressure from Alon. Terry turns on it. Got two on him. Pope uses his strength in to win it. Back to Alon. Nice little pass inside. I know Alon had been playing the twos for the over 45s in the second division, but he stepped up to Division 1 here on this Sunday afternoon. Not as if they needed numbers or help Dunbar. They are in second position. They can't better that. Coogee have won the league. Decent effort, and the first goal of the game. It was their only attempt on target that wasn't offside. I think that was Jean that scored that one from the right mid position. One 0 Dunbar, and what is this going to go up to be honest? It's going to be a huge scoreline, you'd imagine. Dunbar over 35s beat the Glebe Gorillas B team over 35s in the Friday night division 17-2 a couple of Fridays ago. Wonder what we're going to see in this game. Wonder will David Mills just kind of go, all right, that's enough after a couple more. Nice pass out the right hand side again, another chance, and just over the bar. They have to be hitting the target, they really do. This is shooting practice for Dunbar. They were champions of champions last year. I did commentate on possible champions of champions for this year, and that's Appia Leichhardt over 45s with a star-studded team. They were absolute quality. Norman plays it long into the middle. I think that's Joe Lapone. Left hand side again to Pope. Nice pass inside. Laid off to the number 4. (18) is actually Otto. He's playing in the left wing position. Apologies, I'll be calling him Pope. Pope is number 4 who's on the ball now. To his right back, I think that's Scott Sadler, who puts in a cross, won by Norman. Terry doing a lot of running early on. Self and Milton are somewhat the strikers or midfielders stroke strikers. Dunbar with lovely one-touch stuff. You probably wouldn't get near it if you had 11. That's Joe Lapone, number 19. Looking to put in a cross here, Lawrence Stewart. It is a decent cross. Juan Carlos gets the first effort, and Pope came in and struck it first time just to the right hand side of the post. Still 1-0 Dunbar Rovers over the Glebe Gorillas 45s. 10 minutes played in the first half. Did have Redfern Raiders playing against Dunbar Rovers all age 3s in the game just before in a third v4 place playoff. Raiders won that game in extra time 1-0. Otto is linked up well there, and it's into Pope and onto the number 19 Lapone. Gives it to his centre back. I think that's Lawrence, possibly number 5 or 15 actually. Scott Sadler is the number 15. 58 is James Keane. Alon is the furthest back here, and he's just looking around. He's not really wanting to be under too much trouble or fazed by what's going on in this game at all. He's just enjoying the scenery, enjoying the nature around the beautiful Moore Park. Juan Carlos throws it into Wayne, who is very, very strong on the ball. Back to Juan Carlos, trying to link up with Milton, and that's as far forward as a Gorilla shirt has gotten this far. And first touch for Simon Taggart, gives it to Alon. Left hand side is the number 18, Otto. Otto plays it on to Lawrence Stewart on the left wing. Back to Joe Lapone. Lovely stuff by Otto, switching it to the right hand side to the goal scorer. Plays it in, back post, no shout for offside, no whistle from the referee. Lawrence Stewart tries to cross it in, possibly offside there, and it is 2-0. No offside given. And that's what we expect from Dunbar. Just 11 minutes gone here in the first half. Dunbar are about to accept that the Glebe Gorillas do concede a 3-0 victory in a forfeit. They've tried their best to go ahead with this game, their last game of the season. They did have a lot of injuries, and a player who will be coming for them, Song, I know is injured, and you don't really want to play in a game that doesn't mean too much if you're injured. Back to number 5, Andrew, playing it back on the right hand side to Norman. Davide is just outside him, the number 23. John Carlos plays it inside to Terry. Lovely 1-2. This is good play from the Gorillas. Down the line to Milton, just beyond him, however. James Keane, number 48. Dunbar passing it around to Pope in the middle, and Otto's on his bike on the left hand side, and it's Otto on the ball looking to put in an early cross. He doesn't have anyone in there, so he just feeds it on to Lawrence Stewart. Stewart left footed, solid cross towards the back post, and another finish, excellent finish by Dunbar. I think that was Otto who scored that one again. They're getting forward brilliantly, they're being more composed now, and they're putting the ball into the back of the net, as we do have a couple of players looking to put on red shirts here from Dunbar, and one Gorilla themselves. 3-0, 13 minutes. That's equal to a forfeit. Lawrence Stewart put in a really good cross there to set that up. Andy Heading is their number 9 up front as well. Play back to Norman, looking for options, of which there are really none. Juan Carlos flicks it down the line towards Terry, but it is intercepted by the number 12, that's Danny Fee. Otto hits it left foot, and he was winding up well to hit it. Just came off the outside of his boot, and we do have a grateful sub for the Glebe Gorillas. What's your name, buddy?
Sigmund for Dunbar.
Sigmund is going to come on, donning the red for the Gorillas. And big thank you to him, wearing the number 3, a Wayne Chen colour. And Mills coming on as well. Big gratitude to Dunbar Rovers, who really want to make a game of this. Gorillas now are up to 10. They're 3-0 down. Mills, the oldest man on the field, as far as I'm aware. I don't think any of the Gorillas are over 65 or 66. Juan Carlos can't find Wayne in the middle. First goal scorer, chance again. Sliding effort from Lawrence Stewart, goes off target, and Otto was calling for it, but really didn't really want it after his last attempt on goal. Norman switches it out to the only player who seems to be always free, Juan Carlos. Played into Wayne, who, as I mentioned, is very, very strong on the ball. Breaking down here is Jean again. He got the first goal for Dunbar. They're breaking through again, looking for a fourth. To the right and wide. I think there was a touch on it. It will be a corner. Number 6 coming on for the Gorillas. That's Kenny, I believe. Kenny is actually on the field, so I'm not sure who he is. I think there might be 2 number 3s and 2 number 6s. Does that mean they have 2 number 9s? Excellent stuff in there by Sigmund. Plays it out to Kenny, who's looking to turn the other number 6. Juan Carlos plays it down the line, can't link up, but we're going to see a better game of football now. Otto plays it wide to Lawrence Stewart. Looks like one of the younger players here, and puts in a decent cross back post, and seemed like he was onside when the ball was played. The run just made him appear offside, and as I mentioned, there are no linos on this field for this fixture. Juan Carlos will take this one. Plays it into Norman under a little bit of pressure. Plays it back to Juan Carlos, takes a touch. It's got Kenny out left. Terry is the number 11, and there's a number 6 actually, that's Terry, so I think there might be both Kenny and Terry. That is Kenny on the ball, flicks it forward. Got Mills on the right hand side in a good position. I think he's a right back or a right winger. And this has made a better game of it, and thank you very much to Mills, who is the gaffer for Dunbar Rovers, for allowing this to occur. It could have been an absolute slaughter, and thank you very much to the referee as well. I know that in the strict laws of the game you must have 11 to start, and you must have 11 at half time at least. Good challenge played from Wayne out to Milton. Milton looks to turn, he's under pressure, comes to Mills, who plays it nicely with his left foot. Terry looks to turn, he is fouled, and we are playing on. He gets the ball to Kenny. Referee plays an excellent advantage. Down the line to Sigmund, who holds it up. Kenny played it back to Terry, or vice versa. Milton in the middle. Gorillas using the extra men now to show that they can play football. Played out wide. Otto putting a lot of pressure there on the number 23 for the Gorillas. That's Norman. Pope trying to break in here under pressure from Sigmund. Falls to Terry. Dunbar passing it around here nicely. Comes into Stewart. Crosses it back beautifully. Looked offside, and he didn't finish anyway. Referee understands that it would have been an offside, and it is Terry looking to break out here. Back to Andrew. David plays it to the left hand side, finds Juan Carlos. Andrew on the ball again. Got his head up every time, he looks like a baller. Nice pass into Terry in the middle, and he's made a difference since coming on. Juan Carlos has been absolutely flawless. That falls to Terry, and Mills is on his bike. It can't be found though, however. He's still in a good position, Mills. Wayne finds him. Millsy on the ball, plays it in the middle to Sigmund. They play on the same team for Dunbar Rovers, and this has really changed the balance of the game. You'd have to imagine if the Gorillas started with 11, what the scoreline would be, because they're passing the ball around now like they're 3-0 up. Eugene in goals. Can't really kick it that hard. He's got a torn calf, he understands. He feels like he's got a little bit of a slash down the back of his calf, which I did get on Friday night. Not by a knife or anything like that, not by myself. Dirty challenge off the ball. Yeah, that happens in football sometimes, and referee didn't see it, to be honest. It would have been a red card challenge. Juan Felipe, left hand side. Juan Carlos, I should say. Lays it off to Terry. Mills is always in space out here, and Alon is just reading him a little bit, and Otto ahead of him as well. But again, passing it around nicely are the Gorillas, who just intercepted there, however, by Danny Fee. Still Fee on the ball, linking up with Stewart. Pope in an offside position, and he goes no ref, and I can understand that decision from the ref and understand that call from the player as well. Danny Fee started that move by winning the ball in the middle and just passed it nicely around, and then made that run on the right hand side. Couldn't have been linked up with, however. I think it was Joe Lapone who played that one to him. They're shouting behind us here. It is cricket. Milton loses the challenge to Danny Fee, who puts the ball into Lawrence Stewart. He just adds onto it to Otto. He's on his right foot. He's very much left-footed, but he's had an effort there, and cricket boys aren't used to things like that and all ducked at the same time. Decent ball back in, actually. Would any of them like to play for the Gorillas in the second half? David to play it out left again. Juan Carlos into the middle to Andrew. Back to David. Only 3 pressing up front, and that was enough, to be honest. That was a good press right at the end there from the right midfielder. That's Jean, who scored the first goal for Dunbar. It'll be eating at Dunbar, not just this year, but maybe next year. They're going to have a big pre-season and recruitment, you would imagine, with Coogee just making themselves a lot stronger. And I did see that Coogee team play last year. They are a good side. Will be a Dunbar ball. Keeping possession. He hasn't been on the ball in a while, Pope. Plays it to Alon. Alon's son is an absolute class player, and Alon himself is a brilliant coach. He was coaching a ladies team, Twisted Kickers, as the ball comes in and is controlled well by Terry. Twisted Kickers, ladies in their 30s, 40s, I believe some in their 50s, not as quite as old as Mills. And they have been playing the ball for about 2 years or 3 years, and they thoroughly enjoy it. They really do. I commentated on one of their games where they were winning at half time, and it looked like they were going to win it, but they were beaten in the 6-a-side tournament they were playing in just in the final whistle. I was gutted for them. I was hoping to have their first victory on camera and put it on Podge's punditry. Dunbar back in the ascendancy now again, linking up with Fee, who's breaking down, but an excellent challenge there from Wayne. That was Juan Carlos, actually. Not going to give Wayne the credit for that. Eugene trying to organise, and Wayne is just a cheery, lovely guy. It's a pleasure to have him as part of the Glebe Gorillas. He does sponsor them, his company AMC Realty. Crossed in by the first goal scorer, just falls for Eugene, and he's not looking to play it long, and Plays it to Terry and intercepted by the number 19, that's Lapone. Joe Lapone on the ball, looking to turn, twist and turn. Kind of name you'd expect to be playing for Appia. Alon takes it on his left foot. As I was saying, Alon's son is an absolute gem of a player. I think he's probably approaching 9 or 10 years old now. I have refereed him before, haven't commentated on him, but he's an absolutely gifted young lad. And when your dad is a coach and your dad is a player, there is the possibility that you're going to be a gifted player as well and do the right things. Does play with Ellie Academy, and this is Fee on the ball. They play at the IFA, and I believe they would be out there today, but Alon can't be with him due to this game. And good shot and a good save by Eugene. Was at full stretch. Throws it out to Juan Carlos. Had to play it down the wing. Almost intercepted, or was intercepted by the goal scorer. That's Jean. Going to try and pronounce your last name as well, Jean. Katslikasas. I'll try and pronounce that a bit more properly later on in the game. Thrown towards Wayne from Juan Carlos. Pope just leaves it. They all left it, and there was a shout, David, and Pope left it for some reason. Sigmund, who is a Dunbar player, skipping past 2 or 3 Dunbar players, and this is the Maradona style that I was saying the Gorillas would need to try and score a goal. Plays it to his gaffer Millsy, intercepted by Otto. Otto using his speed against the 66-year-old, and Milton is next in play, goes past him, and Wayne is still working back. I love the effort. Lawrence plays it down the line to the big man, number 15. I think that's Sadler. To Otto, right-footed, deflection to an offside Sadler, and that will be an indirect free kick for the Gorillas. It was a good run from all the way from the back. Otto started that with the interception against Mills. Kenny receives it. Still no sign of Song yet. Nice ball in by Jean to David Fern. Plays it. Flicked on, and Otto wins that, intercepts it, and will put a cross in. Try and beat the full back first. Norman puts in a cross. Lawrence Stewart takes a touch, and Wayne had a look up, ready to boot it. You can tell he's not from Ireland. Nice ball down the line to Sigmund. Keeps it in, looking to turn and take on the big man at the back and have an effort. Was a decent effort, but Simon Taggart kind of put one hand up and thought, nah, don't need to do much more with that. Good play from Sigmund, better play from the Gorillas. Now they've got their Dunbar additions, evening it out 2-11. Taggart plays it short to Alon. He's got Otto ahead of him, plays it to Joe, who's told to turn, does turn, plays it to Fern. Or Danny Fee, I should say. Pope plays it to right back. Jean skipping past Juan Carlos. Jean looking for a 1-2. Andrew just sees it out of play. No drama there. And Dunbar trying to play good football, as you'd expect from Dunbar Rovers. They do represent the eastern suburbs as well as Hakoah in the NPL. That started up in probably about 5 or 6 years ago. Apologies if I'm wrong on that. It has affected their Premier League status in the eastern suburbs, however, not in the over 35s. They are flying up there, and they'd only, I think, drawn 2 or 3 games all season in the league. Everything else was a victory. But they did lose in the first v second playoff against Coogee, and Dunbar and Coogee have a massive rivalry. They really do. Other teams come in here and they think, other clubs go, I've got a rivalry with Coogee, or I've got a rivalry with Dunbar. Not really. It's Coogee and Dunbar who are the absolute rivals. It's the I was going to say Manchester United, Liverpool, that City aren't even a rival as Stewart tries to get by here. Lawrence Stewart still on the ball. Has an effort and does score past Eugene. Good finish by the number 11, Lawrence Stewart. He has changed positions. He's more in a central role now. And it is 4-0 to Dunbar Rovers. Looks like the youngest player on the team, absolutely, and he's carving them up there at the back. Yeah, he's playing in a more striking role now, and Otto will be the left-hand side. Andy Heading is their number 21. Looks like they have two 11s actually. And ball played back to Eugene in goals. Nice and calm from Eugene. He had Lawrence really close to him there after just scoring a goal. Nice ball to Mills, controls it well. No real option. It gives Alon a little push there and a smile at the same time. Milton is the option. Throw down towards Sigmund. He's battling well. Taggart plays it to Pope. I think Lawrence Narayan is actually the number 5 at the back there. We didn't have his number written down, but he is the other centre back for Dunbar. Alon looking to come forward. His option is Otto on the left hand side. Danny plays it in to the previous goal scorer. Back to Danny again. Legs up to it. Otto looking to hit it with his left. Brings it back to his right. Danny hits it, blocked by Wayne Chen. Another chance, Joe Lapone hits it just outside the post. Still 4-0 here at Moore Park. David looking to play the ball a little bit longer towards Milton. Nice little flick on towards Sigmund, who's a good battler, he really is. Allen comes in and wins it though. Gives it to Otto, who has a bit of time. Lawrence Stewart plays it back. Joe Lapone, first time to Otto. Very competent on the ball, those two players. Pope loses the ball and Milton put his hands up saying it wasn't a free kick, but I think Kenny did something to the backside and give away a free kick from Dunbar. And let's see what they can do from a set piece. Lapone and Lawrence standing over it. Narayan hits it and took a short run up and just booted it over the bar. Always typical when you kick a ball on, the other ball comes back in. Trying to do my best here, hobbling around. David plays it nicely towards the gaffer of Dunbar Rovers, who's in a gorilla shirt. Falls to Lawrence Stewart. Not a great ball. When you're in the centre of the goals, just outside the box, that's the last place you want to pass. And the fact that it went out of play as well is somewhat embarrassing. Milton on the ball, under a lot of pressure from Pope, falling to Danny. Looking to break in. Lawrence trying to make up for it. Crosses it across and comes off Eugene. He saves it well. And you heard Taggart there sportingly saying, well done, keeper. Corner for Dunbar Rovers. Be taken left-footed. Danny, the big man, was about to get on it, but Millsy got up brilliantly and put it out for a corner. Excellent defending by the 66-year-old who ran brilliantly and got his head on top of that. Joe Lapone to take this. Coming short. Comes back to Lapone. Doesn't cross it in first time. Edge of the box to Otto. Gives it across to Jean. Andy Heading was on the ball there. Apologies. James Keane. Scotty Sadler plays it back to Alon to Otto. Otto again. Thought he was left-footed at the start of the game. It seems he's a right-footer though. The number 5 puts that out of play. That's Narayan. And it is fantastic that there is an over 45s league and over 45s players, and this is the standard. It is Dunbar Rovers, who were champions of champions last year, and that's a huge feat. It really, really is, to play all of New South Wales as the champions of champions. As it falls to Otto, there are some quality clubs, there really, really are, and we will be hopefully commentating on one of those quality clubs in the next week or so in their grand final. That's the Minotaurs, who had won the Champions of Champions, I think, for 4 years in a row, with lots of ex-internationals, Aussie internationals. Alon intercepted that ball, gets on it on the left-hand side. He is a baller, absolutely. Left-footed to Otto, who will try and strike it, dummies it, trying to come through and then loses it. I think there was a half opportunity to play it, and Alon's worked really hard to come back and get this. Excellent play by Alon, really, really good by the number 43. Narayan plays it back to his keeper outside of the boot. Plays it first time Taggart to Sadlier. He's got Lapone and Pope in the middle. Fee in that number 10 role, and Lawrence as well has come over to the right hand side. That's Lawrence Stewart. Otto is open on the left hand side. Someone's gone to ground there off the ball, and referee might just check that he's okay. Referee does actually, absolutely caring on player safety, what we want to see from our referees, and can't afford to lose any players on either side at the moment. And that's Andrew, who's gone to ground. He's up again. Referee will give it to the last team in possession, which were Dunbar Rovers. Alon, Joe Lapone, looking for options. Pope was that easier option and he found him. Pope looking for Jean on the right hand side. Jean plays it back inside to Danny. Back again to Jean. Last touch off a Gorilla will be a corner. Thought that was the way that Jean was going, and the touch from the defender, Juan Carlos, played it off him. It's the way I seem to ref them anyway. When I am reffing, I call it which way the ball is going, if there's any spin on it, if I haven't seen it correctly, and trying to explain it that way. Jean puts it in, not a great connection off Terry. Off Kenny, I should say, played it on to Terry. Dunbar ball. Sadlier to take. Looks like it's going to be a long one. See Danny Fee running, and that came straight to him. Nice flick on by Fee. Lawrence Stewart battling with Wayne Chen, but Wayne Chen is a tough man. You're not getting past him that easily. Juan Carlos down the line. Can't link up with Terry. Sigmund coming in to help out. The number 3 is a Dunbar player, but playing for the Gorillas. Back to Alon from Pope. Plays it inside to Narayan, almost intercepted. Back again to Pope. Nice ball to Joe Lapone. Otto on the left hand side. He's been really busy in this first half, which we've played about almost 40 minutes. It is 4-0 to Dunbar Rovers. They were initially playing against, I think, 8 men or 7 men. They were 3-0 up after 13 minutes, and it's only been one since it's been numerically evened out. Joe Lapone looking to put it in. Lovely pass to Danny Fee. Danny trying to break and play a pass through, and he can't believe it himself. He can't believe he was onside, and he can't believe he missed it. Otto. Ball slightly rolling again. Referee seems to allow that to play on. Juan Carlos, nice ball down the line to Sigmund. Did well to keep it in as well and play a ball to Terry in the middle, who's trying to bring the rest of his ballers into play. They did have a little spell there, Gorillas, when they did even out the numerical deficit. But it is Dunbar who are stepping up again and just passing the ball around excellently. Narayan plays it to Sadler. Danny Fee on the ball. To Otto. We'll try and have an effort here, or maybe find Danny again. Looking for a 1-2. Otto with a chance again. Eugene comes out. Otto fluffed these lines again. He's getting a bit of grief from one of the supporters on the left-hand side, or a player who's injured. I'm not sure exactly. Good touch by Eugene. By Gene, I should say. Sadler does well to come in and win that. Plays it down the line to Lawrence Stewart. Sadler looking for it again. He's told he had time. He didn't have a lot. Wayne Chen didn't have time either. He's battling though. Otto feeds it through to Danny, and Danny just does poke it in to the back of the net, right into the corner. Well done, the big man. He had been trying to link up for the last couple of attacks there. Nice pass from Otto, whose confidence would surely be down after those 2 last attempts on goal. Feeds it into Danny Fee, and he puts it away. 5-0 Dunbar Rovers. Three minutes to half time. Milton on the ball. Mills, the gaffer for Dunbar Rovers, as I mentioned, is playing for the Gorillas and is the oldest man on the pitch. Sadler has really come into his own in the right back and is passing it around. Found Fee. Chance on the right hand side, and he's put it over the bar. I think that's James Keane. Mills giving some instructions to his Dunbar players, which you somewhat would expect, to be honest. He is their coach, even though he's wearing a red shirt at the moment. Long ball to Sigmund, who has been brilliant, really, really good and very energetic. Can't see why he was on the bench, to be honest. He's just scored a goal. Danny Fee outside of the boot into Otto. Nice little dummy. Otto composed as in the box. Lawrence Stewart on the ball from Danny Fee. Squares it across and intercepted. Falls to Otto. Adds to it and was a bit of a high boot there. We're playing on and hits the bar. We're still playing on. Cleared out by Terry. Joe Lapone takes a touch, finds Jean. Back to Sadler. Lapone again. Narayan. To Pope. Alon outside, but he goes for Otto. Plays it inside to Pope. Danny Fee plays it inside. Good run by the number 11. Might be number 21. That's Andy Heading. As I mentioned, there seems to be 2 11s, 2 3s. Sadler intercepted, and a chance here for Terry getting forward. Squares it to Mills, back to Terry, he's onside. Sadler to beat and can't beat Taggart. Taggart got down to it well. Distributes one big chance for the Gorillas, and That was on 44 minutes and 44 seconds about. I'm wondering if Song, who has played for China, is going to come for the Gorillas, and would he have scored that? Mills played it nicely back to Terry, who had made that initial run, and Mills did well to support him. Sigmund, I should say. Half time, and it is 5-0 to Dunbar Rovers against the Glebe Gorillas, with some Dunbar Rovers players on their team as well. This video is sponsored by Awake Water, the finest water in New South Wales. You can purchase Awake Water at awakewater.earth, and if you use the code FUTSAL, you'll get a free bottle on your first purchase. Change your diet, get onto Awake Water. We'll be back with the second half shortly.